Welcome back to Kearsarge Valley Magazine. I am Adam Brisbane, standing here in Clarke's Hardware with Lori Lauritsen. Clarke's Hardware is in the New London Shopping Center. Please stop by. They have so much stuff here for all your household needs. Today we are going to talk about keeping pests away. We're not talking about in-laws or people that we don't like. We're talking about actual pests. The moles, the roaches, the ants, stuff like that. So. Yeah. First, we're going to talk about the ants and the roaches and kind of the spiders and stuff like that. What do you guys have here for that type of stuff?
Well, there are a lot of products available, and a lot of them are environmentally friendly.
Okay.
They're safe to use around the house with kids and domestic animals. First, ants, roaches, powder post beetles, boric acid, the old Boraxo. It's a powder.
I've heard a lot about it for a while. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, it has. It's been around a long time. It's a powder. You just squeeze it in cracks and crevices, especially under your kitchen sink is a spot that tends to get them. So it will not hurt your pests.
Okay, that's a big thing.
That is
a lot of people out there with cats, especially, like to get into things, little dogs.
Yeah,
that's a very good thing.
Diatomaceous Earth works about the same way as that does. It's ground fossils. Again, you can spray it in your cracks and crevices. It dehydrates ants and pests like that. You can also use it in your garden around your plants that the slugs like to eat, and it dehydrates them. Again, safe to use around kids and plants and domestic animals. So.
Perfect.
Only this is in a cute little container, so you can get it in the crevices under the sink and places like that.
Well, that helps out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about maybe the unpretty side of rodents and pests. Actual eliminating a little bit bigger guys, your mice, your moles, your stuff like that. What do you guys have here? That's actually a little bit different than your traditional kind of, your old school mouse traps.
Yeah. The old school mouse traps, which are still very popular, I always would catch my finger in them. But these, called the Better Mouse Trap, are much easier to use, and I haven't pinched my finger in these.
Okay.
You can just squeeze them to open them, put a little smear of peanut butter, place it under a cupboard or wherever.
Wherever you need it.
The mouse comes, it snaps them. To dispose of the critter and still save the trap without snapping yourself, you just squeeze it and release right into your trash can or out in the woods for the owls to have for dinner.
Exactly.
And it also comes in a larger form,
the big gun,
that will get chipmunks and squirrels.
Okay.
And squirrels in a house are something that you don't want to deal with. So these
seem like they've just been improved upon the old style method. They're easier to snap back. They're a little bit more human friendly than the other ones.
More user friendly.
Let's go to the actual repelling. So we don't want these things in the first place. Let's actually go to the repellent method. One thing you guys have here is gopher and mole repellent, which tear up people's yards. And
they do, and they do get into the house too. So the gopher and mole repellent, there are several products that are the same makeup. They're actually pelletized castor oil granules, and you sprinkle them outside around your foundation and work out away from the house, and the rodents don't like it and they move away. So I'm going to try some in my lawn in the fall to see if that alleviates the mole tunnel problem than when the ice melts.
And if you're Lori's neighbor and you have a lot more moles and stuff next year, you'll know exactly why.
Where they came from.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Now let's go to another. You see a lot of these in people's houses. You go in and you can kind of hear the tiny little buzzing sometimes. But this is something that you actually plug into the wall, correct?
Right. The PestaCat you actually plug into the wall, and it goes right through your main box. So one this size will do 2,000 square feet of house if it's all on the same circuit. And it emits a little signal that the little rodents are aware of, but that we're not, and it doesn't bother your domestic animals like cats and dogs, but we wouldn't recommend it if you had guinea pigs or hamsters. It would bother them.
Nuts.
Yeah, so that's another way to repel them.
All right, and extremely quickly, we don't have much time left, but this is kind of a biotanical repellent. along the lines of still keeping with kind of the green theme, the environmental friendly theme, but obviously keeping things away. Real quick, what is this?
These are little bags of dehydrated, ground up corn cobs that have been soaked in the oil of cedar and balsam and eucalyptus, things like that. The rodents don't like the smell of them. They smell better than mothballs, and they're easier to have around than the mothballs. They'll work for about 120 days repelling the rodents. Like a lot of people will put them in their boats and cars and then maybe midwinter refresh them, you know, put out a new batch, but you don't have to worry about emitting things into the environment with them.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Well, Lori, thank you so much
You're very
once again
welcome.
for tons of tips in terms of keeping the pests away, the rodents away, the spiders. Come down to Clarke's. They have all these products, and they have a lot more that we didn't talk about today. A lot of people always here willing to give out tips and stuff like this, just like today. The hours real quick, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30, Saturday 8 a.m. to 5, and Sunday 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So, Lori, thank you again for talking with us.
Thank you.
All right, back to you.